Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, 21st. So we just had a holiday yesterday, and everybody's getting back to it. We have a kind of an interesting setup here. I don't know if it's really a big deal, though. Again, I'm kind of expecting this week, because there's not a ton of economic news, and we have impeachment going on. This week might be appropriate for a little bit of a breather. I'm still kind of getting everything a little set up here. Oh yeah, so I should start. I'm a little cautious about. So I'm on prednisone for the next 3 more days. I feel great. It's really helping me kick this inflammation and everything. But it also tends to give you an what do we call unwarranted, shall we say, unwarranted sense of good well-being, an unwarranted sense of well-being, and I kind of feel like that. I feel pretty good. So I think we're still going to be sticking to sim today. But anyway, so let's look at this setup we got here. charts over here, charts. All right, so as you can see, before the holiday, on Thursday we had a little move down. Here was Friday, also a little move down, but retraced. Didn't really go anywhere yesterday, and now overnight a small step up in the treasuries. We are still right smack dab in the middle of value. So we might see a move away from here, but it'll be tough. I mean, it'll take a little bit to get them away from here, right? And then here's the volume profile in ES. You can see a decent bit down. I do see, there's these naked point of controls down below us, so I definitely see a setup short here, and they do tend to sell on the open no matter what. So there might be a good short here in the ES, but again, I'm a little worried about it. This could totally be a day where they just try and close the overnight gap, right? So they might just try to move up to 33.18 and then to this point of control, maybe this one up here on Friday to 33.24.25. And that's only 10 points away. So could do anything. There are earnings today, but nothing super huge before the bell that I know of. So that's where we're at. How are you guys doing this morning? Well, let's turn this on. Oh, I need to check here. Something is wrong in Garlic Coin World because my Stratum was not connecting. Let's see here. Don't I have a Discord for this? Garlic Coin. Don't really see anything. There hasn't been updates in the official Garlic Coin for a long time. Good morning, Uzi. How's it going? Let's make sure that this is auto reading for us. Okay, there's the open. A small tick up on the open. Oh, I should get my workspace all clean and set up. Okay. I got my ZB. And my ZN. Where's my 6J? My 6J. You know what? I think that we need to change the 6J. I think we need the Swiss franc. Yes, that's what we need. Duplicate a new tab. What is the symbol for that, though? CHF. Let's search for it. Oh, it's right there at the top. Oh, where'd it go? Swiss franc. 6S. Aha. So there's a Swiss franc. There's a 6J. There. In the 6J, you can't see. There's the move up, right? Or was it 18? All right. So they had a bit of a move up in the Swiss franc too, but I can definitely see that there's more interest in buying the Swiss franc than there is in this exchange. All right. So we got that taken care of. It was a bit of a move up there. Okay, there is some size. Okay, now that's interesting. That number there is 153. This LTQ must not work the way that I think. Because why is it 1976? Because that wasn't a 1976 order, and it increased like the number increased. How does that number work? Maybe we should read the Jigsaw documentation and see what it says. Yes, let's log into Jigsaw here. See, Jigsaw's got some issues, man. Look at this. Like, if I make it like full screen, it only takes up half the screen. Isn't that retarded? Okay. Members. Am I on the latest version? Yeah, I am. Okay. In R26, we added LTQ as a column. It is also available on the volume profile. This video explains how it works. Colors for their stuff for it. If on the value of LTQ will accumulate, adding new trades as we trade more at that price. If off, it will show each individual trade off is more appropriate for slower markets like US Treasuries. I see. So, that was in appearance, right? LTQ. Oh dear. I don't see that option. Thought it was going to be under LTQ. Well, we're moving higher. I have to pull that documentation back up again. I shouldn't have closed that. Shouldn't have closed that. Donald Trump tweeting right now at the moment, by the way. Huh. I don't get that option. What the heck, Pete? Am I on the latest version? I'm on 26. I am. Oh, this is version 2.1. Okay, let's do it. We might as well. You can see offer polling, by the way, in the treasury. Let's close this down. And download the new version. So it seems to me that you could use the LTQ as just another version of the current trades column. Really, you just set it up with a different, because it basically just has a different filter. The different filter being that if a trade goes the other way, then it gets reset. Yeah, am I wrong? Screen will go all black. Cool. Fine. No. Oh, yes. That's fine. E-mini had a little bit of a drop there, by the way. I guess I have to close Ninja Trader too. Boo. Okay. North Korea on Tuesday said as the United States had ignored a year-end deadline for nuclear talks, it no longer felt bound by its commitments. I ain't gonna start building nuclear weapons, because that... Come on, Kim. Okay, so now my setup is kind of like... I think it finished, but it's like not showing me like the finished screen. Let's see if it worked. Okay. Oh, we want to see about 2.100A. And in appearance, LTQ, I have accumulate trade supplies. Let's turn that off. Now this should be interesting. Looks like we didn't miss anything. So that's good. Technically could have taken a continuation trade here, but I'm... In fact, yes. Wouldn't necessarily be filled yet, though. Cool. All right, so yeah, that is more like what I expected it to be. May have to be interested to see what Live Action thinks about that option. He was the one that was talking about that he had a hard time trading without it. Well, this kind of looks like they could easily touch the high of the day. I think that the appropriate trade, I mean, we're late to it, but I think that the appropriate trade here is this. Yeah. Liquidity is a little bit light, but it seems to be changing around a lot. We did have some news, didn't we? Let me double check on that. January 21st. All I see is Canadian manufacturing sales. Yeah, okay. Yep. At 8:55? How come I don't have that one on? Do I have something on my filters wrong? No, it's just not there on Forex Factory. What do I have on the Jigsaw one? See, there's some bill auctions today. Oh, I do see Red Book at 6:55. Okay. Okay, so just before the top of the hour. Uptick. Trouble holding it. So where does it just read out 178 there, but when I'm looking at my tape, I didn't see a 178 order go through. So interesting. Alligator says yes, looks like break prep, but strange they do it before Red Book. They are definitely maybe uh my calibrations are just off because of the holiday and it's been slow and everything, but it just feels like it's moving around like flickering a ton. Like the numbers are changing a ton here. Okay, so one thing that I should note is that they're building volume at 158.07, which I don't think is supposed to happen. It's close though, between 57 and '07 and '08. Hmm. It looks like the 5 year is moving us around a lot as well. So the 5 year ticked up and the 10 year was not ready yet, but it went. Notice the 30 year having a hard time. Okay, now it is stacking a little bit more. There's not a lot. Look, there's only 17 at 14 and only 18 at 13.5. Okay, that time they stacked more there. Now it's normal. It's like that market maker wasn't ready to stick his orders there or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Look at that. 5,000 absorbed at 14.5. Fight C 14.5. Yeah. Okay, now they're building some volume at 08, and that moves, for this candle at least, the pointing control for this 5 minute bar up. Whoa. 7. Hmm. This might be this setup that we were talking about earlier, where they spend a lot to buy it up, and then um they mm, how does that work? Let me think about this for a second. So if he bought 7,000 or spent 7,000 to get it up here, it can be long. He's going to want to get short 7,000. So somebody else had to have picked that up there. That's not the one. We wanted to see it right there if he was scratching it. Yeah, that's not supposed to happen. I think that was the trade, but we're too late to it. We would have had to taken it like literally right at the open. I'm also noticing that the bid is really starting to pull here. And we're getting an odd change between level 2 changes and the volume. U.S. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin says people's growth projection for U.S. in 2022 low. Does not think trade concerns held back growth last year, says recent trade deals will lift growth. Okay, that's kind of contradictory, but I guess Mnuchin must be speaking somewhere. If Mnuchin's talking, that would totally explain the fickleness. Yeah. It is. It's really quiet today. Well, people coming back from the weekend and stuff. We're actually down a little bit on viewers today, too. 11, we're normally at like 16 at this time. I don't know. I don't know. They sure are building a lot of volume at 14 though, aren't they? But look, the ZB is lower. The ZB is now 06. That could be a false signal though. Like that could be deceptive because they're definitely spreading it. They're definitely spreading it. Looks like the 10-year is kind of stuck in the middle. There are T-bill options today, so auctions today, so that would explain why there would be willing to trade so much volume. Downtick. Significant pulling on that downtick too. I think I should stick to only taking trades off of the off of the Wyatt setup. Even though with my level 2 stuff, it's definitely telling me that there was a turn there. There was a definite turn there. Hello, Sebastian. Hey, you're not the first person we've had from down there. That's we got a guy. I don't know if he comes into YouTube very much, but in Discord we got somebody from. Oh, I don't think he's in Chile. Where he's in one of those close by there though. Where is he was talking about it yesterday? Where is he? It was Luke? Luke is from. Oh, he is from Argentina. See, look, you would have gotten filled at 13.5, so there's that. The ZB definitely came back there, huh? Well, now I wonder if they're going to come all the way back to this, like 158 in ZB. You can tell also on this level 2 right here when they downtick. They downticked and they built the offer pretty easily there. And then it downticked again. So this is where it would be interesting to see if the in the auction vista depth slash imbalance, if we do 2 levels instead of 1. See, it doesn't really help because it's still just like the inside one matters more as to what that is. It's just kind of adds a little bit of noise. So it's not useful. Well, if I was just going based off of filling what my histogram is telling me, I think I would be short, but I'm seeing the level 2 in the bid is kind of flattening off. Like it looks like that they're reasonably okay with where we're at. Oh, that was a pretty aggressive take there at 13. 12 being offered. Mm-hmm. And what is the E-mini doing? E-mini turning up. I don't know about that one right there. So the liquidity is pretty even between 12 and 13. It kind of feels to me like they're still willing to fight it here. But I mean, well, I don't know. This volume profile here doesn't really make sense to me because since we've been watching, there was way more activity there at 14. You know, but that's probably just this last 5 minutes. So they clearly traded that a lot more. This a lot more overnight. So I don't know. And what was the open at? The open, well, not the open, but the 630 bar. I must have a ZN somewhere around here. Well, there's my 1 minute. I guess I don't have the. Oh, that's right, because it was. Yeah, okay, so 620 open was around 11 half. Yeah. Oh, you know what we should do? Load levels. Did I get that error again where the output? Yep, did. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a second. Exporting to. Huh. Doesn't like something. Oh, that's weird. That's really weird. So I still can't figure out where that conflict is coming from because that is literally the only chart that's touching that file. Okay, but now we got the levels. Load levels. Previous low, previous high. Still in buy territory. This right here. So you see there we ticked up, built the bid at 13 really easily. Came back and bounced right off of that in the ZB. Sure. Well, I really like the Jigsaw one, except for that their interface is shit. If I had the ability to like get rid of tabs or open this up separately or something and it didn't have all of the display issues, then it'd be great. And it'd be perfect. So I think for this trade to have worked, we need to buy into it. Look at the way that bid. Crazy aggressive bid. I think those offers just completely pulled out of the way. You just left chasing it. E-mini did take a turn down. That's probably part of it. Venusian's still speaking. Phase 1 China deal USMCA passage will lift 2020 growth, but Boeing 737 MAX issues could weigh on US growth this year. But the Boeing thing is such a disaster, man. I can't believe they bungled that so badly. Oh, so live action. We had a question for you about the LTQ. In Jigsaw, there's an option here. Parents LTQ. Accumulate trades at price. So it seems to me like it will accumulate until you get an order the other way. I'm assuming that you don't want it that way, right? Or is that good to have one? Okay. So the 14.5 looks a little more. Okay, so I'm not sure if I that's as far as I understand it. So I added an LTQ column, it's in the middle, and in Jigsaw there's a option to accumulate trades at price. And so I believe that what it's doing is it will continue to add until you get like an order going the other way or something like that. So at the moment I have it turned off. So it's just showing me straight up the last order that went through. Like there was a 13 buy. Although it doesn't always, it must add to some extent because like at one point I saw it 79 there and there was not a 79 in that flurry of orders. I don't know. Right now it's just showing me the last order, or I believe that's what it's showing me. I don't think it's accumulating. So I'm assuming that the LTQ that you're used to, it doesn't accumulate. Right. Okay. And you say that you're using it like an order tape, right? So like what when it pauses and I see that the last one was 7, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's just kind of more watching it flicker as a bunch of orders come in. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'd say there's been some crazy buy volume coming through at 14.5, but the seller's willing to take it. A bid is still pretty strong. So bid is pretty strong, but they were away that offer for a second, but it doesn't look at the moment that the offer is pulling out of the way. The offer is absorbing. Okay, so there was a downtick there. The bid pulled. That might have been a lure, to be honest. We'll see. No, they just smashed it. Yeah, and look at the ZB is selling it too. I think that this move up and back and everything is probably just spreading. Oh, look at the fight at 14. Well, I don't really have a setup anymore. Oh, that 13.5 is pulling too. No, 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 no. They gonna go into 04 too? No, 04 is stacking. Dang it. Well, nope. I don't know why I took that. Oh yes. Yeah, I was in Salt Lake, so I didn't get to see it very often, but I went on the floor a couple of times. It was pretty crazy to see. The thing that always struck me was the phones. There's so many. They would have these like a phone that took up like the whole desk for the number of lines that they could control and stuff. Yeah, I think uh I don't I think I'm being impulsive here. We need to wait for this trend setup and not be trying to take these short little things based off of one little change on the inside. I don't know why I was doing that. That was dumb. Um, yeah, I can see there how they kind of stacked it up and then yanked the floor out from underneath of them on the bid. Like when it's coming down, they're definitely pulling bids. Now they're absorbing at 13, but I still see pretty significant pulls for it to do that. Well, so hey, good morning, Ace. The one of the things that I thought was interesting and that I kind of bring up in this situation whenever people are talking about screens, because it was the most common for the traders there, from what I had seen, that they would have 6 screens. But when they had 6 screens, they usually were controlling 2 computers. They weren't like actual boxes there; everything was virtualized, but they were usually connecting to 2 boxes. So like they would have one box that was running an algorithm, and I guess the algorithm was complicated enough or whatever that they wanted it to be running on its own box. So they would have like one screen monitoring the algorithm, and they would have a screen to be monitoring um, their team chat. Okay, this one. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna make sure that. Anyways, um, they'd have a screen for email, so that's already like 3 of their screens, right? And then maybe you would have a screen with DOMs, a few charts and stuff like that. But I really didn't know enough at the time to realize like at that time I knew a lot about technical analysis chart patterns, but I didn't know a whole lot about like volume profile and those sorts of things. um so yeah. I know that they had a DOM. So when I talked to the one trader, they were like, "Yeah, the DOM is the thing that we use the most." But that doesn't necessarily mean that's what day traders should use, because you got to remember they have institutional flow. They're trading for other people, so they know they're tasked with buying X amount. So if your goal was to just buy 3,000 ZN contracts as low as you possibly could, you know the chart is going to be of limited use to you, because you know you're going to buy it no matter what, and you're going to be much more interested in how much can I buy at each individual price and stuff like that. So it makes sense that those guys would be more dependent on the DOM. Hmm. So far in the ES, it doesn't look like they're going for it, but could change. I'm noticing that the offer is getting a little is jaggedy, so it might pull again. Like if we were to take a range bound trade, I think that it would be 13, right? Oh, 5K iceberg at 13. And the iceberging on the CP too. Oh, actually, really? All three of them, really. Well, 64 is a big number. We're trading big numbers at these prices. Is aces short going to hit here? The captain of the Titanic. Hmm. That's a lot hitting there. Really? Well, my understanding is that, you know, the trading world hasn't been so great for anybody lately. I always look at, those earnings for the banks, because I own stocks in a bank, and it strikes me how when things are bad, one of the things they mention is that the trading revenue was bad, and you can see that they're trying to diversify away from their trading business. It just seems to me that the changes that they made in Dodd-Frank and so forth are just not beneficial towards trading in general. So the banks are required to hold so much capital, anyways, and they're not allowed to have the proprietary trading desks. So that means less speculating, like really big time speculators. I mean, they're still there. They moved them out into the hedge funds, right? But it's a different thing. And we've just noticed that the overall like speculation has decreased, and average true range after the QE era ended is decreased, and it just doesn't look to me like a very solid trading anymore. Like everybody's having difficulty making money trading. Although there was this past quarter was an exception. There were some guys that made a killing. So now they're hitting up into that bid, and it's staying bid at 13. Hmm. Billionaires. Wow. I mean, so I think that's another thing that we don't necessarily consider very often because we're scalping, and so we're always looking for small, consistent trades. But I think that in general, the distributions are extremely uneven. You know what I mean? So you're gonna get this situation where the what you make is pretty measly, and then all of a sudden, okay, I'm gonna wait for it to hit your original one. You're saying I'm guessing that it moved up when it kind of sat up there for so long, huh? Um. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so you might normally not make all that much, and then all of a sudden in 1 year you make like 100 times that. That sort of a thing happens. A lot of it is just knowing that moment when you're really really right and just pushing it. But you got to be careful with that one because then you become me and you always think that you have that and you never do. Spotify analyst says users have limited urge to pay for podcasts. Oh, I don't think you'd get filled at 13 anymore. Both of these are leveling out. I'm seeing that they're working the book at the moment and the volume's not coming in. Oh look, they took it off at 13. So that might have been them trying to get a bit started and it didn't. So they dumped it on 13 or something. Also notice the book above us between 14 and 15 is all stacking up in this pretty thick. Um, ZB making lower highs. Yeah. I mean I haven't been paying too much attention to it. The thing is I have these right here, right? I have these things. The aggregated tapes, which I absolutely love. But it's like all the way over here in the corner. So you'll see me very often looking down. And having it right there in the middle is nice, I must admit. It kind of sucks because I don't really have enough room for it. See, I'm actually covering up part of my ZB now. So I'm not sure how to deal with that. I think 100,000 is the most that I need to deal with over here. So I can move that in. I guess I can move this in a little bit to match the that and that because the BVZH is the biggest number, readout that I have there. Ooh, big stack at 12 and a half. Now this column right here is kind of annoying. See, I have 1L. If I want that to read out completely, I need it to be like right there. So that's probably the most compact I can make this. I guess I can make the ZF a little bit more compact. Let's do that. Okay. Closer. And maybe move these ones in. There we go. Now it all fits. It just feels like that it takes up so much of the screen. I don't know. We'll see. We'll try it. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. We'll see what you think about it. What you think about it, if it's really useful or not. We could always move it over into the volume profile part too. I kind of really like it being in between um my traded at columns though. That makes more sense to me because I think of it as like, here's the orders and they're coming up and they go and they hit, boom, like that, coming through the middle. That I guess I got to cancel this at 3114. Yeah, so far. So the thing is when Pete added that number in there, he said, there are certain things that they do when they trade that, and that he would have some materials later on what those methods are and everything. But it's starting to sound to me like it's just a better way to see the tape. And so yeah, it's just it's a redundant tool, but it's better for keeping your eyes in one spot and being able to read the DOM. I kind of because at the moment I feel like I'm moving my head too much. You know what I mean? Like when for some reason I have this desire to actually read your messages instead of just sitting and listening to it read them out to me. I have my charts all the way over here, so this is me turning my head completely to see the chart, you know, and I really should just be right here, just looking right there. I have the camera all set up so that that's like the closest to my eyes. Like that makes the most sense. Need to move this a little bit. It always bothers me. Okay, so now I can finally see ZB. Maybe stacking a little bit and saying that they're done. Also note that the 10-year stacked on that downtick and then they pulled it off. Getting another one of these things. So when I get I don't know. Okay, thick bit at 12. I'm noticing that when I get these little divergences between the level 2 and the actual volume that trades like this, that's could be a precursor to a bid, and we're seeing that now at the moment. So it looks to me like they're trying to get something started and the volume's not coming through yet, is what I think causes that. So I don't know if these orders at 12 are yet filled. But I'm thinking if I was just winging it, let's say, that I would be waiting for them to try and trade the VWAP and then bounce off of it. And we would really have to come down low before I get into some of these areas that are like supposed to be significant. So But you can see that 3,500 have hit it into a 12.5 and it's been down. And all three of the treasuries are doing it pretty. Even though there's definitely been some spreading to date, they've been absorbing in the same spots, which is kind of interesting. Trump, I'm absolutely serious about imposing tariffs on European cars if I can't strike a deal with Europe. Also, Trump, I'm planning a middle class tax cut in the next budget. Yeah. I'm a little surprised that they're talking about another tax cut, but we'll see what the details of it are. Ooh, look at that. No. What am I doing? I just want to do it. I want to buy it at 12.5. It's not. Well, it seemed like there was some economic data that kind of bumped us up to where we are today. And when I was reading in chat, the European traders like Alligator weren't 100% sure which specific thing it was causing it. It seems like that in general, the Europeans are more apt to be buying it at the moment. Okay, interesting that there was that right there. Now it's gone. And I'm still getting this. I really think I should try it. Why do I feel like that? Why? I don't want to take a trade before the E-mini open. Oh, okay. It was China. That would maybe make more sense. See, they couldn't point to an individual news release that they were waiting for that had it. Oh, what's this on my shoulder? That sucks. I have to go and see if that's stained in there or not. Trump trial begins with. Oh, yes, that's right. I never read about that. We need to see. McConnell's procedures describe a round-the-clock timetable for proceedings, beginning with opening arguments on January 22nd. Oh, the Senate will not weigh whether to call witnesses or seek documents until after the House impeachment managers and the president's team present their respective cases and senators then pose questions. They're arguing over this. Yeah. Well, and it never touched this. Yeah. You see how it's iceberging there at 12.5? But it's iceberging everywhere. So the absorption is really hard to read today. And I'm not seeing the overall stacking and pulling like do a whole ton. So probably it means wait until the mini opens. So I was wondering, there was all this talk about there would be a provision in there that would allow them to end the trial quickly if they got to a certain point. Could impeachment trial lead to recusals for John Roberts? Why would that be? McConnell's curveball: Senate must vote to admit House evidence in impeachment trial. Huh. Bernie Sanders would like you to know he's very sorry. What's this? Bernie Sanders apologized to former Vice President Joe Biden on Monday for an op-ed written by one of his campaign surrogates that claimed Biden has a big corruption problem. It's absolutely not my view that Joe is corrupt. What the hell, Bernie? Really? Really? I tell you what. Why is he so concerned about um, hitting other candidates? You don't want to win? He absolutely is corrupt. He has well, let me rephrase that. If I was running against Joe Biden, that is the angle I would be pushing. That's curious. Dun, 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 in the op-ed published in The Guardian, claims Biden has the perfect art of taking big contributions and representing his corporate donors at the cost of middle and working class Americans. I would guarantee you. I'm pretty sure that every Bernie Sanders supporter out there totally agrees with that op-ed and thinks that Joe Biden has a pattern of accepting big donations from large contributors and then representing the interests of big business. That's why they're supporting Bernie Sanders. And then he turns around and he apologizes for that. What the hell are you doing? Bernie is. I just don't understand Bernie Sanders. I'm sorry, guys. And aside, probably not relevant to anything in the markets, but it's just kind of weird, isn't it? Well, the book is getting a lot more fickle here, but it's opening up before the E-mini opens, so we'll see what they do. I bet you. Yeah, you think so? Yeah, maybe. I'm starting to feel like that he doesn't think that he can that he doesn't think that he's gonna win. Oh, that could be too. I'm gonna bet you that in the E-mini that they're gonna have a pretty strong sell on the open because that's what we've been doing. Okay, so the very first impulse is up. Later, John. There almost always that starts out with some strong selling. Is it going to be the same today? I mean, today is a different setup, so maybe it'll be different this time. But let's see if the sellers come in. All right. Well, still buying. So far, not the strongest impulse up. Oh, actually, it was pretty good. They did break some good levels there. In yes. Hey, how's it going, Win? Earlier, it was so quiet, and I was thinking, well, it's because Win isn't in yet. So she's the one that gets things going in the morning. And then she starts talking and it gets the rest of you guys all excited. It's so great. Hmm. I don't remember, when did you guys say to sell it? I would like missed that one. I don't necessarily see you guys listing a price, but okay. So there's quite a bit of absorption happening in the E-mini here at this spot. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I did see. You know, she should. Ferrets are super popular on TikTok. She should be posting her ferrets on TikTok, and then just put in like the corner the YouTube channel name or something. Telling you, you get so much more discovery on TikTok. It was interesting on TikTok. All of the creators on TikTok are actually complaining because they'll have like thousands of subscribers and then they'll post something, and none of their subscribers see it. Um, so it's not like if you subscribe to somebody that you're guaranteed to see their comp that you're guaranteed to see your content. So it actually, it doesn't prioritize content you're subscribed to over anything else very much. An interesting take that they're taking on the platform. That just allows the Chinese to show you whatever, right? Whatever they want instead of what you want. I mean, I see the possibility of a turn up here in the treasuries, but I'm not seeing it happen. In fact, the bid is starting to get a little jackety again, which might suggest that they push through. Well, actually, take that back. If it was pulling, that would suggest that they're going to pull through, right? I do see here in this area there has been a decent amount of offers pulling. I should make this, I don't need to see so much of this. There. Do it like that. Okay. So you can see them clearly buying. Clearly buying, although it's pretty trivial compared to the sell that brought us down here. In the E-mini? Yeah. I've been waiting for the sellers to come in and they didn't. It could still, I mean, they could still turn down and try and push below the open price. Let's see. They might just so 33.24 was where they were before, right? Yep. I saw that they were concerned about this new virus, but I didn't know anything about the virus to understand why there was so much reason for concern. Okay, so that one, the LTQ said 27, and I saw the order that went through was a sell 64. So it seems to me that the LTQ doesn't do what the aggregated tape does. Makes sense. That's what the difference is. The LTQ is just the straight market orders, and it doesn't aggregate it at all. And that's probably why Pete originally wrote it with it, stacking up. Because otherwise it's not really the best representation of what actually hit. It's stacking here a little bit. Another iceberg at 13. Okay, the E-mini is turning down though. This actually is giving me. Wait. Yes, it is. It's giving me the buy here. Okay. I don't know about this one, but it fits all of the qualifications on both time frames. Did he really? I'm kind of, I don't know. If I was president, I would be ignoring her, but okay. So here are the e-mini. Let's see how far the sellers get. It doesn't look to me yet like a real seller push. Well, they moved 10 points up and now they're selling back down, but this just looks like profit taking at the moment. It's not pushing. You know what I mean? It's kind of fallen through, like it's pulling out of the way, and then a bunch of people sell because they're afraid that they're going to lose all their profits. Okay. So that bid at 0.003 in the 5 years not ticking up is a little curious. I can see that it's still spreading. So we're moving up, but the 30-year is moving up more than the others. So the direction of the spread hasn't changed at all. Okay. If we get this one in the E-mini, that'll be just short of the open, so I like it. The thing that irks me about that situation is that it's not her, right? It's the parents are the brains behind that whole thing. Very clearly, something, there was that thing where they made it clear that it was her dad was making all of the posts on the account and stuff. And then when you actually see her talk, like she's got a temper, like she's autistic. You know, you don't. I don't think, generally speaking, that an autistic child makes a super great social media genius spokesperson. You know, so the whole thing just is like manipulation. That's what bothers me about that situation. They're having a hard time um, pushing below your 75. Yeah. I'm noticing more and more where when you see something is really popular, then you find out that the person was not the person. You know what I mean? Like the real reason that social media became so popular, it wasn't choices that the individual made. You guys stopped? Oh, I guess it was. Yeah, I guess you have it at 3. I'm gonna let it work its way. That I think there's probably still a good chance they get stopped out. Like it's not getting below that price at all, is it? Like look at the absorption at 33.20. I think that we just kind of caught a bad spot. Oh, there we go. There's some favorable excursion. Treasury didn't bid up there though. Hmm. Right. I think that one was a little just randomness though. Like with the signal was too close to a point of control in the profile, you know? So there was just a little bit too much noise there. Like I was saying, this is the problem with trading with such a tight stop in the E-mini. There's going to be a lot of times where you really were right and you're going to miss it. Hello, Eric Ages. Was wondering where you went. I'm starting to get to the point now where it's like we really do have like the same group of people that come in and chat every day, and so I'm sitting here wondering like, okay, who are we missing? Okay. But that's the thing, Gary. Haven't necessarily been doing it, have we? You like you. That's why you like oil, huh? Because it runs, huh? Getting a little frustrated with this E-mini here, though. I feel like it should be coming back. It should have filled me. Don't you wait? Don't you use AMP? Yeah. There you go. I like that. I like that. Description win. No, don't. Isn't your broker? Don't you use AMP Ace? Yeah, yeah. AMP is a young kid with a family to feed. Oh man, you know maybe you should go and email you should go email Matt Z because he's a good guy. And he could probably work a deal with Ace because Ace is pretty consistent. He might be willing to give you a deal. But I digress. Oh man. Hey, that's a good bid there at 14. Look at them stack up. You see that? It just slowly the bid stacks and the offer pulls. Well, I'm in high spirits because this is up. Do you think that they're going to break the high? They're finally getting up to that 15. Ooh, they actually pulled a little bit there. But the E-mini not really still kind of going back and forth in this area and not willing to aggressively hit for the open. But Treasury's still possibly threatening. Well, they were making it really strong there for a second, but then the bid backed off. Okay. Now, the trade was that we would expect to get 3. I thought maybe I would just kind of um, play it by ear, but no, it's not a live trade. I remember I was in that period where I was like, I shouldn't tell you guys what I should keep you on your toes as to whether it's live or not, so that people don't try following them or trading against it or anything. Maybe now I'm of the opinion that it doesn't matter. I don't know. I have mixed feelings on it. Well, yeah, because see the schedule? So like they're going to make their opening arguments and they're giving them basically like 48 hours to make the opening arguments. So they're going to be like yeah, they're going to have sessions in the Senate going until like midnight. Crazy, right? But this is the whole thing that I don't think. Okay, so it finally stopped me out in the email. Something that I don't think that liberals understood about this impeachment thing is that an impeachment trial is not made for TV. It is long and boring. And you might get a soundbite here or there, but it's really not the most exciting thing in the world. Okay. Well, this bid is still holding, but and that offer is actually increasing. Hmm. Yeah. Well, there was I saw I says can you get over two? There you go. There was this story they were saying that Donald Trump picked his legal team based on whether he thought they would be good on television. I don't know if that's really true, but yeah, I really don't think that it's going to be exciting television. I'll definitely be reading about it, but I wouldn't bother watching it live. You're just going to be bored out of your mind, man. Okay, so they're selling into it quite a bit of absorption. E-mini making a push up, but may already be stalling. Hmm. That's so funny to think about. It's your third one. Right. But they had like uh proceedings going on and people were watching it on the news, right? TV was a little bit different back then though. So that 25 is now bigger than what so something I like about this is that I can kind of look here and I can see, okay. The highest that it got I think was 29 at 14 half. I think that our friend at 15 wants Phil's. Think he's going to get him? E-mini's still bidding up. They looked like they'd slowed down there, but they're pulling it out. In the E-mini? Hmm. If you're talking in the treasury, I would be interested to know what metrics you think make it become a short. It did give me three, and three was maybe all. Well, it was supposed to be three in CB, so I don't know what it turns out to in the 10-year. Okay, now it's three. Just spiked over three for a second. Okay. What do you mean? What happened? Oh, now you can hear. I'm wondering if Ace get another short. Ooh, look at that! Now he's stacking. 34. Okay. I can definitely see on the chart here that they're making a lower high and that there was not the volume on that move up. And so if they sell, maybe they will make it back to the open. And I can also see in the treasury, they're kind of stacking and pulling a bid as high as 3,400 at one point. Ugh. You not hearing them? Oh, I know what's wrong. There, I fix it. I had the volume completely turned off. Okay, so that was an aggressive sell there. The bidders are hitting into 14 halves still. 37, 35. I don't know.
Winstan's mom says a Tokyo man deliberately left his father's ashes in a subway station restroom, police say by Amiko Jizuka and Junko Ogura. CNN updated 2:53 a.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday, January 21st, 2020. Ick and double ick.
I think the answer here on this one is that I should have been getting the 3. I think that it's a 3 to 4 tick edge, and when there's a huge order like that at 15, I don't necessarily want to risk that. That said, there's still a good chance that the E-mini falls here. If I get filled, it's going through me. There's still a good chance that the E-mini falls here and it pushes us back up, so let's see.
Air Cages says, are you going to play the song?
Oh, that's right. I didn't ever exported it. You know what? I was planning on maybe spending a bit of time working on it, but then I wasn't really feeling the creative juices, and we got working on an art project where we melted crayons onto a canvas. Maybe I'll pull that in here and I'll show you guys that.
Winstan's mom says song. We have a song.
Yeah, well, I was just showing you the song I was working on. Trance song I was working on. So that's 4,043. I still see the potential for a turn here in the evening, but it's not really doing it yet, is it?
Gary Rich says YM long 316 short 290.
Okay. So I see that this bid at 14 is slowly stacking and the offer at 14 half is slowly getting less. Buying into it, I'm not necessarily seeing the huge volume. Not since we downticked. Okay, there's an uptick. Pretty decent bid on the uptick. Let's see if they can stack to 3,000 again. See here, because of this histogram, I can
Air
compare.
Cages says Seth stands. Put your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care.
Oh man. If I had a country named after me, I think it should be Sethistan.
Winstan's mom says Asia market slides according to MarketWatch. Fears based on viral concerns.
Sorry, I had a big spike there for some reason. I dropped a ton of frames. I don't know what the deal was with that. I could see it like my camera like froze. Okay, 33. Is this gonna flip? Maybe not.
Winstan's mom says Sethistan, and will you have a Winston Ferret County in your Sethistan state?
Sure. Yeah, we can have a. You can be the Duchess of Winston. Winston County. 32. 32 is good. 35. this might flip. You just stack a big old 200 on there and
Air
see what
Cages
happens.
says, are you drinking water from that Bluetooth-enabled water bottle?
What? There's a Bluetooth-enabled water bottle? What? I've never heard of such a thing. That sounds so dumb. E-mini's still bidding up. I don't know. But look at the cumulative delta is not there. Is this one of those cases, though, where they're just going to push up anyways and stop out all of the shorts? Oh. I don't know.
Winstan's mom says Winstan is the stone in a bishop's ring. His was an amethyst. I am all about the extra. Winston is the Old English spelling for this bishop's joy stone ring.
It's going to be... Oh, I remember that when we looked it up the first time, huh? So it was 37 at one... Almost 37. It was 30, 35, 36. We were thinking that at 37 was where it was going to flip, but the bid has not become more than the offer yet. Hmm. $36. Oh, they did 37 for a second.
Air Cages says it's on the blockchain. Every time you take a drink, it puts the info on a blockchain and recycles one regular plastic bottle.
What? Hey, it flipped. It flipped. Now they're hitting it. Just a few orders. Ah. E-mini going. Whoa. I felt like that was a little bit too dramatic. Okay. I got 10,000. Yeah, that's where it's supposed to get out. Oh, it stacks. It's going to keep going.
Winstan's mom says finally a good idea for recycling plastic bottles. Air Cages says they have a high-tech Bluetooth-enabled water bottle. They also have a token.
That's so funny.
Ace Trade says just remember, water bottle companies don't make water, they make bottles.
When I'm on TikTok, there's always these advertisements for this coin that the proof of work is that you walked on your phone. Or your phone tracked that you walked. Something like that. It was like, seems so dumb to me. I can see people like creating a a little farm that spoofs the GPS and has it in a machine that just rocks the phone back and forth so that it thinks you're walking. Wow, so 34,000 has gone through at 15.5 after all of that.
Winstan's mom says, and printer machines, the companies who make printers are in the business of selling ink, not the business of ferrets. Duke.
So they ticked down at 14.5. The choice to offer out at 15 was the correct one, I believe. Now, that said, I want to review my chart here. We said, I don't know if I played this correctly. So we said we wanted to see price was above here and they were increasing it. So I took it when we were like at 05, I think. Right? Where was it? Let me see when I got open. 37.33, yes. 7.35. So it was right there. So I caught that. That's correct. I probably shouldn't have held it through all of that, though. Okay. Okay. Huh. I don't know. Oh, so change this. Seen some interesting stuff with this chart. I mean, that's sort of the thing that I'm always talking about anyways in tracking, but to see it on the graph
says kind of like toilet coin. You get toilet coins every time you flush the toilet.
No, that's not a thing. You're playing with me now. There's no way that's a thing. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Gotta be lying. Another 10,000. So now it might actually end up being 50,000 at 15. Zero Hedge tweeting, in 2019, China's slowdown was blamed on a trade war. In 2020, it will be blamed on a virus. And Hu Xixin tweeting, coronavirus cases have been found in other places out of Wuhan, Hubei province, indicating the epidemic is expanding. Concerns are mounting. It is inevitable that people will cut their trips during Spring Festival and holiday consumption will be hit. So what is coronavirus? What's so awful about it? Coronaviruses are common in many species of animals, including camels and bat. Rarely, these coronaviruses can evolve and infect humans and then spread between humans.
Air Cages says proof of poo.
Oh my god. What? Air Cages, stop.
Winstan's mom says a child asks his teacher to go to the toilet. Before you go, recite the alphabet. The teacher says A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Good, but where's the P? Running down my leg.
Common human coronaviruses usually cause mild to moderate upper respiratory tract illnesses like the common cold. Most people get infected with the viruses at some point in their lives. These illnesses usually only last for a short amount of time. Symptoms may include runny nose, headache, cough, sore throat, fever, and a general feeling of being unwell. They can cause lower respiratory tract illnesses such as pneumonia or bronchitis. This is more common in people with cardiopulmonary disease with weakened immune systems, infants, and older adults. So it's a really bad cold. And transmission. Commonly spread to an infected person through the air by coughing and sneezing. Close personal contact, such as touching or shaking hands, touching an object or surface with the virus on it, and then touching your mouth, nose, or eyes, and rarely fecal contamination. In the United States, people usually get infected with coronaviruses in the fall and winter.
Have you seen Matt Damon in the movie Contagion? Don't watch if you have to travel, or perhaps you should watch this movie.
That sounds familiar, but I don't think I've seen that. They're stacking up again at 15. They're going to hit it again? I don't know. There's some stacking at 15.5 now, on and off. In the United States, most people will get infected with one or more common human coronaviruses in their lifetime. Young children are most
Eric
likely to get
Cages says,
infected.
is that's what been causing your cough?
No, I don't think so. So, if you missed it, I went to the doctor.
Winstanza Mom says the Tao of poo, not the Tao. Eric Cages, Dot and Tigger too.
I went to the doctor, and they even did a chest X-ray and everything because I told them like I thought that I had like pneumonia or something because I get this deep chest cough, but the cough is mostly dry. It's nothing came out there. Cough is mostly dry, and so so he said that based on my symptoms that it was most likely post illness irritation. So your body can get into an inflamed state, and then that inflammation kind of irritates your body, and so you continue to cough and things like that. And you get tired, and that can last for up to 8 weeks after the illness. And so they gave me a prescription for a 5-day run of a steroid called prednisone. And I don't know what prednisone does, but I have to tell you, I feel pretty good. I was so tired before, and now I've just been like, I've had the energy and focus and concentration to do anything that I want. You can see here today, I don't know why I was being so incredibly fickle. You kept saying, "Oh, I want to do this," and I'm not trying to play the move that I was supposed to be for some reason. But eventually I got over that, and okay, 19 at 15. Wow, that was a big one. Prednisone, we give ferrets this, but we use prednisolone, which is easier on the tummy. Okay. Anyways, did pretty good today, and I feel like that was maybe because I've been feeling better. Maybe some of the awfulness that we've been having in January has just been because I've been under the weather. We'll see what happens tomorrow, though, when I go to the gym. I slept just fine tonight. I think that I just have to take it in the morning, and then it's kind of worn off, and by the time it's time for bed, I'm ready to go to sleep. Yeah, well, I'm looking at this wall behind me. I'll bring it in here. I'll show you what I did yesterday. It's not amazing, but it was fun. I'll show you. Oh, you might have a hard time seeing it this close. No, so we made this like melt crayons. Look, it's cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So you melt you take like a heat gun, you melt the crayon, and it almost turns into like this watercolor sort of thing. But can you see that like the way the colors mix together and everything is super cool. This is based off of my favorite Above and Beyond song called "You Gotta Go." I put the little Anjuna Beats logo down there at the bottom. Pretty cool. But I was thinking like I could put it behind me, like I could put it on the wall, but then you won't be able to see it. See, we could put it here. You could put it like. Yeah, but you can't really. Well, and my head covers it up too. Here, if we zoom out, it's really too small to see that far away, anyways. It actually doesn't. The camera doesn't look too bad when I have it zoomed all the way out. Oh, you want to hear the song? I want to. Well, I could probably try exporting it here while Let me fix my zoom on my camera again. I don't know if you guys have an opinion on it, but I prefer the camera to be zoomed in here. Yeah, that's a little too much. There. Just from my chest up. I like, because I want the connection, you know? Be able to see my face. That would be a very cool album cover for your produced music. You put songs together in an album. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm a really slow worker. Is the problem? I'm a really slow worker when it comes to that. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we have make another move up in the treasuries, how far they get. Because I have no clue. I mean, we're starting to get into, well, the next spot that I see is at 19 in the tenure. New album. See, I don't know why. Maybe it had something to do with that I closed things down. Let's see if I can run this will work with running everything. Maybe it was because I made the volume go all the way down. I'll bring the volume halfway because I'm pretty sure that if it worked that it would be too loud, but it was this one. We might get some frame skipping here. So I am seeing a little bit of stacking on the beds here in this area. Oops. Yeah, see, I'm playing it. Nothing's coming out. So what I can do is I can export mix down, and I will just sure. I think your wave file. Oh, not between the loop. Marker and oh, how do I add the marker? I forget how. Set play start marker. I'll just do it with the loop bit. Okay, let's see what it does. Does everything slow down here with all that? Yeah, it's gonna clip like fucking crazy. It's gonna be awful. It might sound off. The exported thing might sound awful. Yeah, let's not do that. Cancel. Let's do. Let's insert some. We'll just do it the easy way here. I haven't done all of the. Oh, I don't. Do I not have it? I guess I don't. I guess I don't have the master installed. So I need a limiter. Ceiling negative 0.3. And let's just. Yeah, that's good. All right. Export mix down. Oh, I haven't been reading them out. I'm sorry.
Winstanza Mom says 26 watching now. Will everyone please take a quick second and hit like? You burn off 321 calories and save 10 minutes of gym time. Air Cages says new Seth album coming in 2030. Michael XC says, why aren't we watching Doms? Gary Rich says,
We're
let
just
me get the
exporting
earplugs
something.
for the dog.
They wanted to hear the
Winstanza Mom
song.
says, if we all are here in 2030, I look forward to this Speculators' its album debut. Lol Air Cages.
As soon as it's done mixing down,
Michael
then we'll...
XC says, I thought it was quite interesting in the treasuries.
Yeah, it was.
Air Cages says, this is now a music production channel. Michael XC says, movin'. Michael XC says, ah.
Oh, look at it
Michael
go.
XC says, I haven't been here in a while.
Oh,
Ace
hey,
Trade says, at
that's
Michael
right.
XC, we are still trading. Sorry. Go Shortamini. Winstanza Mom says, Gary Rich, yes, and Pollock that Pika, Rabbit, Color the Coney, Haiku the Hare, Pollock the Pika, the Bunny, Cottontail, Easter Bunny.
Yeah, let's close this. Okay. Yeah, so it was really interesting. So we were saying it's going to be interesting to see how high up above they get above 15. Well, that was way further than I thought it was going to go. They're going to touch that 19, maybe. So here, it was like, you could take it again, maybe. It works. This trade worked. I'm impressed so far. John left a little earlier. He's not listening. I want to message him about that.
Winstanza Mom says, welcome back. Michael XC Speculator Seth has been having fun here, and so do we. His channel has grown into a nice group of regulars. Cheers, minus the beer.
I really am surprised that they came out this far. I'm wondering if John will have the expanding range. Okay, let's see if I can find this. It'd be 12, 13, 2, right? No. There, no. Mix down. Here it is.
Air Cages says, DJ Seth, just play that track.
Let's see if this works. Ah, there we go. Now you can hear it. But I just gotta warn you, it's not like a done thing. So the format of it and everything is still a little mixed up. I don't know if that's loud enough for you guys. See, if I turned it up all the way, it would probably be way too loud. Well, actually, it's not much louder than me. That's probably okay. Here, I'll turn off the reader for a second. Okay, the bid just pulled there at 17, so we might have a pause. way too high. Let me turn it down a little bit. There you go. All right. Pretty music. There's a tonal quality that reminds me of the music in the movie Close Encounters by Spielberg. Oh, really? That's interesting. Well, so one of the things that I've been doing a lot in the music that I've been using recently is I'm a really, really big fan of a synthesizer called Diva. And the thing that's so cool about Diva is that they've finally gotten to a point where they can really, really emulate FM synthesis on analog hardware. So there's this thing where, like, if you've got a waveform like this, and then you've got a waveform like this, then you do FM synthesis and you pump this into this, and then you get this, right? And that's essentially FM synthesis. So traditional FM synthesis is like your DX7, like you that kind of like really hollow sounding piano that you get on your digital keyboard, right? That's like traditional FM synthesis. But it was a big deal at the time, especially in the 80s, because that was the first time that they could actually emulate like the sound of a piano, for instance, right? Well, you can do FM synthesis on analog hardware too, where you just, you take the output of one oscillator and you pump it into another oscillator. But when you do with analog hardware, you kind of get this weird noise that's very difficult to predict. And the computations to compute what's actually going to happen with all the physics is really, really complex. And they eventually settled on a solution where they kind of estimate what it's going to be for when you're previewing it live, and then it does a further analysis and it gets down to what it should really sound like. So the result is the sounds that you get coming out of it are very, very warm, and will probably remind you of the warmth that you might remember from much older songs when everything was done with analog hardware before everything became done on VSTs. Eric Cages says I used to like Massive and Silent. Yeah, so Silent is the best comparison, right? So like Diva is like the replacement for Silent. They haven't changed Silent in forever. And the thing that was cool about Silent was that it had that filter on it that was really dirty, and so you could get a really warm, big, wide trance sound. Well, like Diva is like that, but on steroids, and you can just get the most rich sounds coming out of it. So that's might be why you get that kind of feeling. So it's you just hearing that. I haven't really done the mix down very well. I haven't gone into all of the gain staging and all of that stuff yet at all. And I still thought that sounded great on my headphones. I don't know how it sounded coming out after encoding and everything else like that, but sounds like you guys liked it, so that's cool. So what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So let's look here at this chart.
Winstan's mom says, have you watched Kanye and his church services? They are producing some
I've
interesting
seen
music.
clips.
He can't sing though without tech help. I think he must use auto-tuner.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen clips. I haven't really looked into it. Okay, so let's like really zoom in here on this, okay? So here there was where we took our trade and we came out and we took it off, at 15, right? It came in. So can you see here? There was actually some pulling on the bids as we moved away from it. But the bid has been kind of, and the offer was consistent pulling. So they pulled, completely took us up. What about the changes ratio? Here, so again, when I see this changes ratio, it seems to precede moves. Not in this case. Here in this case it did, or it happened for an extended period. This one also a tick up at least. Okay, so Mads Muller says, hey, brand new to the channel, do you have some links to get started with Auto, Algo, and NinjaTrader, or some guides that you suggest? Okay, so you're just talking about using automated strategies in NinjaTrader. I got to get going in a little bit, but I will show you one thing. So I have a couple of videos, two in particular that I would encourage you to watch. Well, three really. One is how to run the debugger, because that's something that a lot of people don't know that can be really, really useful to you. The next one is key functions. So you watch that one. And then there is one about data structures. I need to make one about strategies because there's some little oddities about strategies in particular. But if you've made indicators in NinjaTrader 8, the transition over to strategies is pretty natural. So you'll figure that out. So I would encourage you to especially follow that key functions tutorial, and that'll really give you the things that you really need to know. Okay, so then once you have a strategy, you can come into here to your strategy analyzer. So the way that this starts is you have a strategy analyzer, and you pick which strategy you want and the instrument and everything, and you can run it, and then it will give you a backtest results. So you'll want to do it like do it on a small time period, fiddle around with some of the values in your indicator and everything so that you have those optimized, and then switch it over to a different time period, see if it still looks good. If you got to be careful about overfitting, that's always going to be the concern, is that you overfit it. So that's why I always say, like, do a month, get it working on a month, then go and set it to a different month that it'll still do as well. And if it doesn't, then there's a good chance that you're just curve fitting. Okay. But if it's a strategy, it should be like, you should have an idea in your head of like, what is the market behavior that I'm trying to take advantage of, and how should I do everything and all of that. And, so you shouldn't have to fiddle with the values too much, but there can be some machine learning stuff that can get involved there that can help you. Okay. So that's a strategy analyzer. And then once you've done that, and you're pretty sure that you have something that you want to start testing, the next thing that I would do is start testing it on Sim, So you can come into here in your Ninja Trader Control Center and there's strategies, and then you just do a new strategy. And you get a window that's pretty similar to what you saw in the strategy analyzer there. You know, you set the instrument and the account, and well, I'm just going to use this one that it gave. But once you add it, then you'll get a line in here, and then you can turn it on here and there. Okay. And then it will start automatically placing trades for you. So you test it on sim for a couple of weeks, and then if it works, then you feel really confident, and then you can take it live. I personally have not made something that was good enough to be worth it for me. I was always more comfortable hearing that it was taking them and then placing them myself manually on the DOM. That might change though with this trade that I've been looking at today. So that is that. That's pretty much all I can give you on strategies for now, and until I make a video about it. But I hope that was a good introduction and gives you some ideas. But the first thing that I would do, Mads, is like make a couple of your own indicators first, and see how that works. How was the song? Okay, so a couple of other questions here.
Winston's mom says, why did Susie fall off the swing? Because she didn't have any arms. Knock knock, who's there? Not Susie. Happy Tuesdaying, gentlemen, and thank you, Speculator Seth. Everyone please hit like before you go. Air Cages says, did you make the song in your intro?
I did.
Winston's mom says, hello and welcome, Mads Mahler, and I lack the symbol. Speculator Seth will also upload this video later, and you can rewatch and or see the chat room with any of his videos. Gary Rich says, how was da song? I had to manage the YM short.
Okay, so hold on a second. Never posted this cryptocurrency notes. Early access. It's set the date to be next Tuesday. Okay. Oh, we have 14 likes. Wow, guys. I was sitting here thinking, well, what can we do to get likes? Hey, listen, I'll tell you what. Let's see if I can find it. It's been a while. Where are they? Photos. No, those are photos of me. Where's photos that I've posted? I have to go way back. Way back. Alpaca stuff, so that's not far enough back. Somewhere in here.
Air Cages says, release the full version of the intro with lyrics. Gary Rich says at mom, okay, I will hit dislike as you instruct. I follow orders, I'm a good soldier.
I made it specifically for that intro thing, and it would probably would take a lot. I mean, I didn't really build it with the consideration of doing that, so I would probably have to make pretty significant changes to it to make it work as like a full song. It worked pretty good though, doesn't it? I think so, at least. Oh man, I don't see it anymore. I had this great picture for you guys that I posted a long time ago, but I don't think I have it anymore. Oh, that's so sad. It'll be somewhere in here. This is when I started posting stuff on Instagram and stuff. I had this, yeah. Maybe I'll find it somewhere else. Maybe it's still on that old phone.
Winston's mom says, dislike, this retired NCO mother of ferrets prefers a like, but every soldier must march to the beat of his own drummer. Sigh, I will have to strip off one stripe.
It's been funny that, so how many, I can't see them, that we had like we've had a couple of days where there's been a decent number of dislikes, and I'm like, okay, like it'll be less likely for it to recommend my content to you. If you're a regular viewer and you dislike the views, then that's totally fine because you guys are here every day either way. But I'm wondering if I'm getting some trolls or something coming in. Oh, see, there's that. It should be coming up here soon.
Air Cages says, yeah, but
Maybe
everyone
not.
thinks you're crazy. Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun.
Yeah, this is the best part, right? I basically what we did was we're like, what were some of the best days, and then I went and found the funniest,
Winstanza Mom
most
says I have to refresh the page to see
self-deprecatory.
all of the likes, but I have noticed that YouTube will only change the number for my first few requests.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know. It's today we did pretty good, didn't we? Man, I can show you this one, I guess. Man, I'm disappointed. Disappointed. There you go. Wait. Oh, I have to. Okay, you guys have been visited by Money Dog. Upvote this video in the next 5 seconds, and economic luck will follow. So that's my gift for you today. I had one of Jerry of my bird that with like $300 or so in cash, but
Gary
I don't
Rich
know what
says,
happened
Seth,
to it.
check your score on Social Blade.
Oh, I check my score on Social Blade all the time. What would you think would be interesting about it? We can pull it up.
Winstanza Mom says I had an odd thing happen with my channel. I looked once and had 64 subscribers. That was odd. Then I checked a few weeks later and had
weird.
28 again.
So every time that I go to Social Blade, I'll show you this. It tells me.
Gary Rich says, Seth, is that your dog?
No, it's not
Air
my
Cages
dog.
says, what is Social Blade?
So it's a way of ranking.
Winstanza Mom says I don't
YouTube
produce
channels.
content, but I have playlists.
So whenever I come to Social Blade, I see that C+ and I'm like, I've got to do better, guys. I got to do better. Because I feel like the channel does amazing, but I think that the way that it's basing that is it's saying like, okay, you upload every day, you get about 150 subscribers, and it's just kind of consistent, and so it must think, oh, that's just kind of okay. I guess. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what the metric is that it's looking for that would make me be like an A+.
Gary Rich says Seth is just above average with a plus ROFL.
Right. You can see though, like we had this big bump in subscribers. That was actually from just placing a well-placed comment. Was where we got a lot of those subscribers, and then it was Christmas.
Mom says speculator Seth, pull up Linda G, the psychic Comanche, and see her numbers. I am curious.
Sure. By the way, I'll tell you that the estimated monthly earnings for the space is low. So right now we're usually hitting 30. From advertising, like the pay-per-click is really high. The Comanche psychic. Oh, she's a B. There you go.
Winstanza Mom says the psychics have the best channel numbers overall with the most engagement from my observing channels.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, 600 subscribers in a month is really good. You can see though the earnings. Oh, 102 with 1.7K. I guess it's not bad. It looks like she had a really good July, and it's kind of been trailing off, but still a good number of subscribers gaining. Anyways, I don't know what it was why you mentioned Social Blade, but that's it. There it is. Treasury is still sitting here at 17, huh? Well, yeah, and I'm seeing the bid kind of constant. So it looks like they're having another one of these icebergs, and the bid is just stacking and trying to push it through. I wonder how far up the buyers want to take it. Do they want to see 19? Could be.
Air Cages says my rating is A. Winstanza Mom says she somehow has very real connections to the music industry. I think she knew someone in the business, and she knows Kenny Loggins and all kinds of people.
Oh, that's cool. I was pretty into the music producing thing for a while, like, well, especially the DJing, because I would go to clubs and everything, and all the time, and we had like a little Facebook page. But then, kind of what happened was, well, two things happened. One was that Facebook changed things so that you didn't get as much engagement on your posts, which really bothered me. It was just really like the scene was so great. Everybody knew about everything, and then they changed it, and it just wasn't good anymore. And I So that was a little disappointing for me, I guess. And then I started trading, and then when I started trading, I just want to go to bed at night. So I wasn't DJing anymore, and so I didn't really put as much effort into making tracks. And I've never tried to get anything on Beatport. I really should take a track, and I think that track that I just played out for you guys could be Beatport worthy. But I don't really know a whole lot about working with labels or anything. I wouldn't even know where to begin. I've sent emails, with links to tracks before, but I've never gotten responses. Like, I don't really know what you got to do to get them to pay attention to it. So whatever, whatever is what it is. But maybe we could finish that one and try again. But I work so slow. Like, I probably won't work on it again until the weekend, and then I don't know. I think that with this particular track, that I need to have an afternoon session on a Saturday with some Adderall so that I can focus. Because when I'm ADHD, I just start listening to it, and I just want to listen to it. So, did we ever get a pivot lower? No, we didn't. So it's not actually saying to necessarily that the move is over. I'm just curious. Remember, we were at 15. You could hold it to 17 half, sure, but the trade that we're supposed to be doing is supposed to be 4 ticks. I think we actually held it longer than we were supposed to. I don't know how I could tell that it was going to continue through like that, other than when it started moving again. You have thoughts? I'd be interested to hear it. I think that somebody said earlier maybe it's because of this virus and everything. I don't know. If economic numbers in China are going to be slightly depressed, I guess. But, well, I guess this isn't like a huge move up. If we start getting above the level that we were with the whole Iran thing, though, then I'm really going to start being like, something's up. Especially since the E-mini didn't sell. We're still above the open. We're still above the open. We had to sell, but they didn't bust through the open. So I say it's kind of weird. Dun 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 dun. Now we get it. Seth was a
M
DJ
says,
at
have you
gay
tried
nightclubs.
modafinil? Luis Alarid says, like music taste. Luis Alarid says,
Oh,
30-year
thanks.
doing well. Gary Rich says, now we get it. Seth was a DJ at the gay nightclubs. No hate, lol. Winston's mom says,
It
good
was
morning,
totally
Luis Alarid, do you also make music or do you just appreciate good music? Speculators' song was very pretty. Winston's mom says, my evening homeroom channel is host Eric talking with famous people. He is so entertaining and his music is fantastically creative, all nay extroverted intuition ENTP.
I could close this because it's giving me the limit exceeded thing. Like, all types of music for trading and quiet is boring sometimes. Yeah. Well, and that's what, remember we were like, for a while I was like, I could play music because I could move my controller over here and we could play music. But, I found that it's better for me to just be quiet and only have my voice. And if you want to play your own music, then you can play your own music. And I think that worked better for people when we tried that short, for a few days. So, whatever. Ace says, or Air Cages says, I might start my own trading live stream and everyone will be, oh yeah, totally. I'll totally follow your channel if you start one air cages. You've been a great supporter, and I would totally come and watch you. Yeah. There's a couple of other stuff that you guys are talking about that we could go into, but I really think it's time for me to go. So pretty good day. If you guys have, well, I'll put it in the thing. What should we call? Well, we should say something about what is it? What is the name of this virus again? Chinese, what is it? Coronavirus. Mm-hmm. Where are we? Over here. So what should we name it? Chinese coronavirus. Sparks concerns about global growth. That's I don't know if that's actually the, I don't know if that's actually the reason that we're bidding up in treasuries today, but we're going to run with it because that'll get you the best search results. Title it, shut this channel down. We're out of control. My sister thinks she's so smart. She said onions are the only food that makes you cry, so I threw a coconut. What? What? Oh man, by the way, Ace, did you never get another signal, or were you just away? I was kind of thought, hey, maybe there would be a signal on the cell, but I didn't hear it, and then, the treasuries took off, and I forgot about it. Well, anyways, we should really be focusing on this continuation trade. It's supposed to be 3 ticks. Hey, cool. I'm down. It's working. I liked it. All right. Hey, guys. It was a good day. Good start to the week. We're going to see where we are tomorrow. I mean, I've been expecting to this week be reduced volatility, but if something happens to break that, then we could get a ton of volatility. Can you get copyright striked for using your own music in your videos? Well, you can always get a copyright strike, but if you made it yourself, you have a pretty good case to argue for YouTube, and you would probably win that battle. And that has happened many, many times. There's been some things where somebody posted their own song, and like some record label had picked up that it was their song, which is so ridiculous. Oh, you missed the thing about the cough, Winston. So they think that it's post-virus irritation, and they gave me, actually you did hear because you knew that I was on. I'm feeling really great today. I'm not going to the gym today, but tomorrow we'll see how I feel after I go to the gym. But I still feel, so remember earlier, I was clicking everywhere. It was just like what, I forget who it is. Remember yesterday we were saying, Seth, you try and play it everywhere, and you're trying to play too. It's totally what's happening. And I told myself going in, I'm only going to try and do this continuation trade thing. And then I was trying to play. Yeah, I don't know. It's a mono. No, I don't think it's mono. Anyways. I want to keep talking. I just enjoy talking to you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching. And thank you guys. I think, I could be wrong, but I think that 18 is a new record. So thank you so much. 18 likes on the video. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And in the meantime, stay profitable, friends.